one of my agendas for sure, which I didn't talk about, what is that Jokic is going to be a top 3 player of all time at least, right behind LeBron and MJ. That's mine, but it's early for that, so I'm not really going to go. But in my mind, I'm like, he's going to get there eventually. He just needs the rings, the ring culture, whatever.
Well, the
Um,
rings are tough as
yeah,
we're seeing.
yeah. He may not get all those rings, but I know like what he brings, his impact. He's insane. So I know that he can get there. Just like I mean, I feel like Dirk's single championship went a long way towards his legacy, and I feel like people aren't giving Jokic that same kind of respect right now. But whatever,
I think a lot
later
of
on.
people put Yoke on that Dirk kind of tier. Like a lot of the like
Well,
where you rank him that I've heard from, national media has whatever. He's like plus or minus wherever they have Dirk, plus or minus like 2 places
hmm,
of where they
these
have
are
Dirk. So I think he's like on that level.
these are
But I'd
smart.
like him to like pass the Hakeem Olajuwon level.
Yeah, I feel like serious journalists and NBA analysts are doing that, but I feel like the regular fans are like, he got lucky that he won even one ring.
What regular fans? Who are you
Normal
talking to?
fans on I come from NBA Twitter, the trenches of
No, I
NBA
know.
Twitter.
You have way more followers than me. I don't know what kind of people you're interacting with out
I've
there,
also
but I
been
don't know
like
anybody. I
arguing
know
with
like random haters of like that are fans of other teams try to say that, but
yeah,
it's not usually in
exactly.
reference to like where Yoke ranks all time. Like those people aren't usually having that conversation because they're thinking too much about how much their own team sucks.
Or like all the debates I had with people about Shaq. Like I was saying Jokic has already passed Shaq in my
Oh my
opinion. So
gosh. We didn't talk about that. We have to talk
yeah.
about this. So, Jokic won his third MVP this season. We actually didn't talk about it. I think it was announced like the night after our last show. Big news. It was announced on
Yeah,
TNT.
congrats to Jokic.
Congrats to
Woo.
Jokic. The Nuggets media people and his family collaborated to do a couple of really nice, segments and congratulatory pieces. His wife did a nice narration of like his story. It was great. They announced the MVP on TNT on Inside NBA, and Chuck was congratulating Jokic. Shaq comes in, and like first thing he says to Yoke is like, "Hey, just so you know, like I thought it should have been Shea. I thought he had the best season. Blah blah blah." And Jokic is like on his headset because it's on satellite and whatever he's talking. He's like, well, there were a lot of deserving candidates. Whatever. I wonder how he felt in that moment. But anyway, the next day, Shannon Sharp, either on his podcast or maybe
Yeah.
it was on
It
his
was
podcast.
it was like his
He talks
night
about
podcast, whatever that is.
he talks about this meme that had been kind of going around NBA Twitter. I don't know if he saw this at all. I thought we were joking when we talked about how Shaq had kind of been on the anti-Jokic MVP train this season. He had been very publicly backing Shea and saying that he's like, I think he's had the best season and kind of like being a little bit shady toward Jokic's regular season performance this season, which has not been our issue at all. He's been great. He's, I think, had a really great MVP case. I have no problem with thinking that Shea should have won MVP. I just think it was weird what Shaq did. But Shannon Sharp also thought that, and he went on his podcast and said that Shaq only did that because he was jealous. Now, I'm about to read the post that Shaq had on his Instagram. It was a picture of, I think it was a picture of Shannon Sharp like in his like football uniform or something. And here's the caption. It's a very long rant for an Instagram caption, but here goes. By Shaq. You took me sticking up for Shay as jealousy of Joker. Shows how smart you are and how you say anything to get clicks. So here's some clickbait for you. If you ain't ranked me in the top 10 in your if you ain't ranked in the top 10 of your profession, then you can't speak on me. Don't forget, I know what you did to get where you at. Me jealous sounds like you jealous. I know you're trying to stay relevant by gossiping on your podcast. We don't believe you. You need more people. And in case you forgot, 4 rings, 3 finals MVPs, top 50 and top 75. Top 50 and top 75. Well, Google me. And to be quite frank, all this new success you got, you still under me. You don't know my work ethic, but according I work less than you, but I'm worth more than you. Make it make sense. Love you too. If you need help making money, it's better ways than gossiping. I'm too old for this shit. And yet he's posting on Instagram. Love always, the most dominant big man ever who never took it serious. Remember, I don't know you. And in the words of Skip Bayless, I'm better than you. Hashtag G14 classification. I have it, you don't. Not in my profession. And your GOAT debate never wanted to be the GOAT. I wanted to be who you should greet me as. All caps, the most dominant ever.
Well, first of all, Skip Bayless didn't say I'm better than you. Richard Sherman said it, so he
Was
needs to
it?
get
Okay, so he didn't even
his
get that
facts
right.
straight. But
Anyway, I was
yeah,
pretty shocked when I saw this. It was a screenshot going around. I went and I checked Shaq's Instagram. He actually said this, and it was under, like I said, a picture of Shannon from back in the day, from when Shannon played football. I found it fascinating because it really does feel now like Shaq is feeling insecure about his legacy. And I'm like, relative to Jokic, like, dude, you three-peated. Like, what are you actually afraid of?
because the actual stats and numbers, such a good case for Jokic, in my opinion. But yeah, the three-peat. I mean, Jokic didn't play with Kobe Bryant. Like Shaq wasn't shooting threes. It wasn't. I don't know. I
Uh,
it's whatever.
yeah,
If
but Shaq didn't have to shoot threes to three-peat.
Yeah, it was a different
And
era.
no
But
one
I
could
know
stop
he
him.
couldn't shoot threes. I don't know. I'm being a little.
He couldn't shoot free throws.
The Shaq Diesel doth protest too much, right? It's like, why are
Yeah.
you? If you really aren't jealous, then why are you even entertaining this and acting so angry about it?
He made Yoke the vice chairman of the Big Man Alliance.
Yeah,
Like,
he's allowed to like think someone else should win an MVP, but it wasn't a good time for him to bring it up. It was
no.
definitely a bad look. So
And he said it all snarky, and he had been basically for the last 2 months, every time somebody brought up Jokic possibly winning the 3rd MVP, and it's like, yeah, fine, have your opinion. There are other people who have had that opinion that weren't saying it like that. It was just like this
yeah,
it was interesting is all I have to say. You
just
know?
like read the room, read the moment, let him have his moment. He just joined like a very exclusive club and he's like talking about SGA. Like it was so like beyond the scope of what that moment was. But yeah, just a bad look overall.
Yeah, shacked off protest too much, as you say. But anyway, that was fun to share.
Yes.
Maybe our viewers have their own thoughts on Shaq's comments and his subsequent Instagram post after somebody kind of called him out on it.
I think Jokic with his third MVP, I would be very surprised if he ever won again. So I'm very happy to finally get this third MVP, which I believe he deserved last season. I know it's a whole other discussion, but I'm really happy that he has it now, and I can live it in peace knowing that he got his 3 MVPs. Now we just need the final MVPs and the rings. So let's hopefully get that. And
Let's go get it. Let's move
w-
up in those legacy talks.
hopefully we will be getting the second one this season if the Nuggets can figure out how to get out of this series. So we will be back talking about the next games in the series, and hopefully they go well. And if you've listened to us, we thank you so much. Hopefully, we have good news for you next time you tune in, no matter what team you support. But please remember to like, subscribe, share, retweet us on Twitter, hit the notification bell, leave reviews, comment if you like. We're always on Twitter. Follow us, come talk to us. We interact with as many people as we can. And remember, winning is fun and losing sucks.
Winning is so fun.